ET English, the unique English language learning feature of the Education Times. This recording is brought to you by Achini Abegunwadana and her team at London Academy of Speech. The Education Times comes to you every week with the Sunday Times, a leading publication of Vijaya Newspapers Limited. ET English introduces a unique way of learning English through stories. It has a short prose passage taken from a novel, a picture story, both of which are being published in episodes every week. All the lessons and activities that are given in the feature are from these two stories. Many English scholars accept that when you learn a language through stories, you remember them better. Further, the picture story will complement this by adding the visual component as well, where it will help the readers create vivid images in their minds, helping them to remember those dialogues and words through those incidents. The first episode of ET English appeared in the Education Times section on the 13th of September 2015. Now, we are going to bring the audio version of this feature where you can listen to the stories and lessons. First, the picture story, secondly, the novel, and finally, the lessons. To get the best out of this feature, we suggest that you get a copy of the Education Times and also a dictionary. It will also help if you have read the feature once or twice on your own. At the same time, try to get the correct pronunciation by listening to the audio attentively and repeatedly and trying to read it after every dialogue, emulating the voices that you hear. You will now listen to the ET English lesson number 40 that appeared in the Sunday Times on the 19th of June 2016. This page will be uploaded to the ET English website on the 27th of June 2016. iGeners, written by Ranjit Gunaratna, illustrated by Anton B. Pereira. Episode 30.
What are you worried about? Politics. Everything is controlled by politics. Don't be afraid, Sas. We are trying to do what is best for our school. I said worried, not afraid. Well, let's wait for their response.
A few days later, at Hans's house.
Dad, I heard that a boy from our school was arrested yesterday.
Yes. Is he a friend of yours?
No, but he is in the class of a friend of mine, Sudesh. What has he done?
He had illegal drugs in his possession. Apparently, he had been selling drugs to other boys.
My God, a drug dealer in our school?
We are still investigating. Don't talk about this with anybody. I don't want anything or anyone getting in the way of the investigations.
No, Dad, we will not talk to anybody.
Have you noticed any strangers or suspicious people talking to or mingling with children?
No, Dad, our security is very strict under orders from the principal.
Strict or not, somebody has been feeding drugs to schoolboys, so be vigilant.
Wait, I just remembered something.
Now we move to the story taken from The Mirror of Paradise, written by Asghar Hussain. Ratnapala's Scarecrow, Episode 7. However, the demon that had now replaced it scared not just the children, but their mothers as well. Only the birds seemed to be unruffled by its appearance. They eyed it with a curious contempt. Though upset by this spectacle in Ratnapala's field, Appuhami was wondering if he could turn the situation to his advantage. In fact, he saw it in an opportunity to enter politics. Being a prominent member of the Village Reawakening Council was not enough. He was destined for greater things. And so, Appuhami asked a number of people whom he considered his henchmen to assemble at his home one morning. These were the villagers who had clustered around him ever since he won a state lottery, and who paid him obeisance, seeing him in the unmistakable signs of prosperity: chubby cheeks, a double chin, and a pot belly, along with a planter's chair to sprawl in. Activity 1. Read the text and match the questions in column A with their corresponding responses in column B. Questions, column A. Number 1. How did the birds eye the scarecrow? 2. Who was upset with the spectacle in Ratnapala's field? Number 3. What was Appuhami wondering about? Number 4. What did he see in it? Number 5. What did Appuhami win? Responses, column B. A. He saw it in an opportunity to enter politics. B. He was wondering if he could turn the situation to his advantage. C. He won a state lottery. D. They eyed it with a curious contempt. E. Appuhami.
Activity 2. Read the text and join the sentences with the words given within the brackets. Number 1. The birds seemed to be unruffled by the appearance of the scarecrow. They eyed it with a curious contempt. And Number 2. Appuhami was upset by the spectacle in Ratnapala's field. He was wondering if he could turn the situation to his advantage, though. Number 3. Appuhami asked a number of people to assemble at his home. He considered his henchmen, whom. Number 4. These were the villagers. They had clustered around him ever since he won a state lottery, who. Number 5. Appuhami won a state lottery. He showed unmistakable signs of prosperity, who.
Activity 3. Grammar focus. A single word verb in a sentence is called a simple verb phrase, and a verb with more than one word is called a complex verb phrase. Examples: A for a simple word phrase: Appuhami was upset. Number 2. Appuhami asked a number of people. In number 1, was is a simple verb phrase, and in number 2, asked is a simple verb phrase. Now we'll look at an example for a complex verb phrase. Number 1, the demon had replaced it. Had replaced has two elements. Has is called the auxiliary verb and replace the finite verb. Read the text and identify the simple and complex verb phrases and complete the grid. Try at least 5 from each. Column A, simple verb phrases, and in column B, complex verb phrases.
Activity 4. Read the picture story and underline the appropriate words. Number 1. Sahas is worried about A. Education, B. Employment, C. Politics. Number 2. Hans heard that a boy from his school was A. Hospitalized, B. Honored, C. Taken to custody. Number 3. Sudesh had A. A gun, B. illegal drugs. C. A violin in his possession. Number 4. Bertie is A. Reporting, B. Investigating, C. Covering the matter. Number 5. Bertie asks Sahas and Hans to be A. Careful, B. Mindful, C. Vigilant, as someone has been feeding drugs to schoolboys.
Now, we move to the word bank for this week. Most of the meanings given are relevant to the context of the stories. 1. Possession, the state of having or owning something. 2. Apparently, according to what you have heard or read, or according to the way something appears. Number 3. Suspicious, the feeling that somebody has done something wrong, illegal or dishonest, without having any proof. Number 4. Mingle, to move among people and to talk to them, especially at a social event. 5. Unruffled, not worried or anxious. 6. Curious, having a strong desire to know about something. Number 7. Contempt, the feeling that somebody or something is without value and deserves no respect. 8. Spectacle, a sight or view that is very impressive, striking to look at. Number 9. Destined, having a future which had been decided or planned at an earlier time. Number 10. Cluster, a group of things of the same type that grow or appear close together. Number 11. Assemble, to come together as a group or to bring people or things together as a group. Now let's look at the answers for last week. For activity 1, question number 1, the answer is scarecrow, 2. Mother, 3. Child, 4. Child, 5. Scarecrow, 6. Child, 7. Child. The answers for activity 2, number 1 B, 2 C, 3 D, 4 E, 5 A. Activity 3, number 1 E, 2 A, 3 B, 4 C, 5 D. Activity 4, number 1, Nimali's mother asked her the price of a violin. Number 2, they wanted to buy a violin. Number 3, the coach tells Sahas that he is the best hope they have. Number 4, Sahas says that other people have other hopes and he is new to the school. Dear listeners, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to our recording brought to you by the London Academy of Speech. You are welcome to give us your feedback and suggestions on the telephone numbers and the email address given in the ET English feature in the Education Times section. We shall meet you again with ET English episode 41. Until then, goodbye and happy learning.